All right, everybody. We are live at Frightmare HQ. My name is Loyd Cryer, and I am here with the lovely and talented Charles Doze.
It's me.
What's up,
Yeah.
Charles?
What are you doing?
How's it going, dude?
Oh, I live my life a quarter mile at a time, you know?
A quarter mile at a time. I'm not even sure what that means, but I'll take it.
That's, life. This is my life.
That's your life. Well, that's okay.
It's true.
You do what you got to do. You know, we all have to do what we got to do, right?
Yeah. That's
So
true.
we're live now. I'm gonna go.
Oh, we're live. I thought you were just talking to me. I was like, I didn't know we were live. I
Oh,
like being live.
let's see. We got Chrissy Gilliland, Stephen Bird.
I know, Chrissy.
Yep.
Bert. They're
The
all here.
Birchster, Todd
What?
Lewis, JRE, Jeanette Nolan,
I know Jeanette Nolan, too.
and Meredith Petrie, and Charles Anderson. Look at that. They're all popping in. Travis is here.
We got the
Meredith says,
full
do you live your life quarter mile at a time or quarter pounder at a time?
quarter pound. Man, she's called me fat. Do you see that? Jesus
Hey.
Christ.
She's Meredith.
Man.
She can do what
Can't
she
get through a
wants.
day without somebody calling me Fat the Hat, man. Whew.
We got more folks joining us. Skidoo 99's here.
Yes,
Twitch Nate 81.
Nate!
Askatel is here.
Ascatel. What is
John,
up, all my?
John Pertley
favorite
is here
people?
from the UK.
Oh, good.
Ali Tappa,
Allie's here.
Todd Lewis. Todd says my favorite horror film of all time is this year, 1979. I will bet you I know what film that is, Todd. I know what your favorite film of all time is. I know that.
Oh, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Meatballs.
It was Meatballs
Right?
in 79.
Yeah, that was a '79 movie. So I'm pretty sure it's Meatballs.
No, his favorite horror film is Phantasm. I know that
Oh,
just from interacting online with Todd.
I didn't even put Phantasm on the list. I didn't even think it deserved to be on the list. It was
I
like way at the
know.
bottom.
I know.
I dropped it all the way to the bottom. I was like, meh. Not even in honorable mentions. I was like, meh. Nobody's ever seen this crazy movie, so
Yep. Phantasm is a great flick. I knew. Yep. Todd confirmed it. Yes, it is. See, I know Todd. I know all of you guys. I know you guys. We've become friends since COVID broke out.
COVID, man. COVID-19. Jesus, what do I do, Lloyd?
I don't know.
Let's do it.
But we're here. We are celebrating the last year of that fabulous decade known as the 1970s. And
It's
this
the
is
end of the 70s, guys. It is the end. We have made it through. We have suffered through, but we came out victorious and learning about all these fantastic movies.
yes. And now that the 70s, after tonight, the 70s are over. So what do we do next? The 80s. Right, Charles?
We're doing actually 1920s. So we're gonna change it up a
20s
little
horror
bit.
movies.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a year in horror for the 20s. Every episode's gonna be 3.5 minutes long, guys. So we'll stream live on Wednesdays from 7 to 7:03. That's it. Then we're done. So get ready.
Well, there's actually quite a few horror movies in the 20s that people might want to talk about, like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, the original Nosferatu, Phantom of the Opera, Hands of Orlac.
I mean, there's a few, but there's not a lot for every year.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you got Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde came out that year. One of the first Frankenstein movies, Monster of Frankenstein, came out in the 20s. Cat and the Canary was one. Hunchback of Notre Dame, Phantom of the Opera.
And The
There's a
Mummy
bunch there.
with Brendan Fraser.
The Mummy with Brendan Fraser came out then. Poltergeist 6 came out in 1924. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Leprechaun came out in the
A
20s.
leprechaun.
With the original Leprechaun starred Lon Chaney. Really weird movie, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up the 70s. I'm so excited tonight. I'm so excited to come on and say hi to everybody and chat about some horror movies and to talk to you, Charles. It seems
Talk
like,
to me.
yeah, talk to you.
Oh, okay. I talk to you all the time, though, Lloyd.
I know you do. Let's see here. You want to go ahead and just
Right.
kick it off?
Let's do it. I don't know if we have much else to talk about before we start, but we can kick off the 79, guys. And 79 is, I'm gonna say there's a few good things. It's not the best year of the 70s, but we got a show for you though. And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. I think 78 was a stellar year. And
78 was.
And just looking over this list is pretty incredible, I think, for 1979. Ascatel said Jurassic Park first came out in 1925 also.
Yeah, Jurassic Park did. That starred Lionel Barrymore, and it was Charlie Chaplin was in that one. It's good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Me You Fools said that we could do one stream that encompasses the entire decade. We could do that.
1920s, that's probably how we'll do the 20s when we do it, because there is a lot of really good movies, but there's not a lot for every year,
Yeah.
There's probably about 15 total in the 20s.
And I will admit I don't think I've hardly seen anything from the 20s. I know I've seen Haxan, which is a weird movie.
Oh, it's a great movie.
It's
weird.
weird.
A great movie.
It's great.
One of the
It's
first
weird.
Hax is one of the first movies. There you go.
Yeah,
movies.
and then I think I've seen bits and pieces of Caligari and the Cabinet of Calamari. Have you ever seen the sequel, The Cabinet of Calamari?
I saw the chest of drawers of shrimp, so that was a pretty good one.
You like that? You like that one? The seafood line of horror films.
It was weird. It smelled really bad, the whole movie, but it had one of those
Yeah.
smell-o-vision things.
That was one of the
Yeah.
that came before 3D. They had a smell thing where they just
Smell-o-vision.
smell.
They just
stuff.
farted. They just farted in your face, and they were like, "Smell that? It's death." That's how I do it.
That was.
That's why
funny.
nobody watches. That's why nobody watches movies in my house, because it's all smell-o-vision here.
It's all smell-o-vision
hey,
there. All
hey.
of it.
Whoa, you know what that is? It's death.
That it is death.
All right, guys. So we're gonna throw this one off. We're gonna kick this one off. We're gonna start. Lloyd's gonna kick us off with Meatballs. All right. So let's do it.
In 1975, the best movie ever made, Meatballs, starring Bill Murray, was first introduced.
1975. You went all the way to
79.
75.
I said
okay.
79, yeah. All right, seriously. Count Dracula moves from Transylvania to Wismar, spreading the Black Plague across the land. Only a woman, pure of heart, can bring an end to his reign of horror. Ooh.
Oh, spooky!
Spooky.
Oh!
Released in France, January 17th, 1979. It is the French West German co-production Nosferatu the Vampyre, written and directed by Werner Herzog. Oh, what a movie this is.
This is actually an amazing movie. It's
It really is.
not even in terms of horror, just in film in general. It's an absolutely beautiful movie. And I love this director. He is such a strange, underappreciated, super captivating director who did some weird movies. Let's just say
he
that.
did.
He's kind of a weird guy, Werner Herzog, because he's also an actor. And one of my favorite things about The Mandalorian, if everybody watched The Mandalorian, is
Yes.
this director
Yes.
appears in 3 episodes. And I was watching it, and it just pans on, and he's just sitting there like, and I was like, fucking, can I see this?
I know.
That's Werner. What's he doing just
The
sitting there?
Mandalorian was great, but I think I agree with you, and that was probably my favorite moment of The Mandalorian was seeing Werner Herzog.
I was
And
like, why is he just sitting there?
And he's part of the Empire, basically. So
yeah, he's evil. And I don't even think he's acting. I think they just found him like he's like, I will do this for you.
Yeah. Yes, he probably just walked in and went, "I am doing this role. You're welcome."
He's probably best friends with Udo Kier. They probably walked in together holding hands. They're like, all right, now we be in all this movies. All the Mandalorians are us. Okay, we do it. But no, he really was. He just sort of appeared, and it was just so off kilter because he is an actor, but nothing like the Mandalorian. He's just kind of in that movie. I'm like, where did this come from? He's in that show though.
So you fools said, wait, isn't the vampire in Nosferatu named Orlok, not Dracula? Well, this is the remake. This is the 1979 remake. And yes, he's credited as Count Dracula. So, there you go.
Yeah, he is Count Dracula. And Klaus Kinski actually plays Dracula in this. Phenomenal actor. And he actually he played his little Renfield in 9 years before this in another Dracula film Klaus Kinski was in. And it's kind of crazy to see him, sort of turn around and become Dracula, because in 1970 there was a movie called Count Dracula, directed by Jesus Franco, that Klaus Kinski played Renfield in. So, but amazing actor.
Yes.
That's what makes this movie work is, this movie is filled with a phenomenal cast and crew that most people don't know outside of like Germany and, that little Central European regions,
Yeah. He was also in a movie in '88 called Vampire in Venice. And he did play Nosferatu in that movie. So, I don't know. I've never seen that one.
That was a sort of a sequel in name only to this one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Interesting movie.
Everybody's got to make money, right?
I mean, hell, I played Dracula for money and Nosferatu. I'd play them both. I'd bring them all together as one character. What do you care?
Exactly.
Topless. Right? The whole movie. I'd be topless and I'd be like, I am Dracula. The blood of these whores is killing me.
I love it. So, I guess you can get the Shout Factory Blu-ray of this movie for $12.
Yeah.
Right now. Or you can stream it on Fandor, or it's a $3.99 rental on Amazon. So
it is. Why don't we roll a trailer for this one? Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Ich lege keinen Wert mehr auf Sonnenschein und blitzende Fontänen, für die sich die Jugend begeistern mag. Ich liebe die Dunkelheit und die Schatten.
Jonathan, fahr nicht. Ich habe ein Gefühl.
Ach was.
Du wirst in Gefahr sein. Fahr nicht.
Er wird mein Essen. Ich muss heute noch zu Graf Draculas Schloss.
Der Fluch wird auf den Menschen lasten. Der Fluch des Vampirs Nosferatu.
Okay. I think when he was in the kitchen and that lady dropped the dishes, I think he was asking for tacos. And they were like, we don't serve tacos here. This is Germany.
You're just racist, Loyd.
That's racist.
Sorry.
I'm like half German, Charles. I can make fun of Germans.
I'm like half German and half redneck, so I'm some sort of thing. So there you go.
You're an honorary redneck.
I'm an honorary redneck from Chicago.
Chicago. So go ahead, move on to the next one because this is one that I like a lot.
Oh, you like this one a lot?
I do actually.
All right. I'm going to move on then, all right? Wacky hijinks of counselors and campers at a less than average summer camp happened in this 1979 movie called Meatballs.
Meatball. How does that song go? I remember it was like something like that.
I don't know. I mean, you're the ones with meatballs tattooed on your back, so I don't know, dude.
Meatballs on my back. I got meatballs on my back.
All right, guys. A group of young friends stranded at a secluded roadside museum are stalked by a masked assailant who uses telekinetic powers to control the attraction's mannequins. Released March 16th, 1979, is the American supernatural kind of slasher film Tourist Trap, directed by David Schmoller and starring the infamous Chuck Connors.
The Rifleman.
The Rifleman. This is actually a sequel to The Rifleman, guys. This is Rifleman 2. So,
oh man, Tourist Trap. It's one of those movies I saw as a kid on TV, and I don't know. I loved it back then, and it's still it plays a little wonky nowadays, but it's still pretty good. You know, I think it's kind of a lost classic, even though it's not really lost. I do understand Full Moon just released a fully uncut version.
yeah, they did.
But the uncut version, really, it was only just missing some minor scenes of dialogue, from what I understand. So, but there it is. You can go and order that right now and watch the full uncut Tourist Trap.
Yeah. You know, Tourist Trap was it was a combination of what was popular at the time. I mean, you pretty much had TCM and Carrie combined together in one movie, right? So there you go. You got a telekinetic slasher film. So
yeah,
I'm sure they walked in and I'm sure the pitch of that movie was, all right, guys, look, this is what I got here for you. I got Leatherface and I got Carrie and I got freaking mannequins. And they were like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm going to give you $695 million to make this movie right now. Right now.
That's enough. So the director, it says he was raised and educated in Texas. And David Schmoller went on to direct Puppet Master. And speaking of Klaus Kinski, he also directed Crawlspace from 1986. And a bunch of other stuff, but those are probably the most popular ones. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, yeah. You know, David Schmoller actually studied under Alejandro Jodorowsky. So
wow, no joke.
Yeah, no joke.
That's pretty amazing.
They did like theater together and worked together in Mexico. Jodorowsky was an interesting guy. Let's just say that.
It says he was also mentored by the legendary director Louis Buñuel.
Oh, Buñuel, yeah.
Yeah, who directed that weird movie with the goat getting its eye slashed open by a razor. I can't remember the name of that movie, but it's freaky.
Yeah, you know, and Tourist Trap really, it's something he worked on for a while. All jokes aside, it was sort of a variation of his thesis he did in school. He did a film called Spider Will Kill You, which was about a blind man and mannequins. And that was his like thesis while in film school. And it's actually a really cool take that sort of evolved into working with Charles Band and, you know, coming out into this. And he's even said, you know, that TCM was heavy influence on this, and so was Psycho, which you guys can see. And, you know, it is a little, you know, it's a little hokey at this point in time, but it's been, you know, 40 years, and I actually like it. You know, I love Pino Donaggio. He did the score for this, and it's one thing I don't like about this movie is Donaggio's score. It's just really, it's not that the score is bad, it's just really weird for this movie. Like, it doesn't make any sense where anything's playing. Like, Donaggio was Like DiMaggio was just drunk while he put it together. He was like, "This goes here, this goes here. We done."
Well, I can imagine this movie had a really low budget, so that
very
probably
low,
explains a lot of it. But let's watch the trailer on it.
Yeah, let's do the trailer.
Tourist trap. Beautiful young people looking for excitement are tricked, terrorized, and trapped. God help those who get caught in the tourist trap.
This is not happening!
Rated PG.
So, Tourist Trap. I recommend watching it. If you haven't seen this movie, definitely check it out. It's a fun experience.
Yeah, it's a great experience and pretty well known. But despite being well known, a lot of people haven't seen it. So I definitely say give it a watch if you got a chance, guys. It's a great one.
Yeah, and get the newest Full Moon Features Blu-ray that's coming out, so you get the uncut version. From what I've heard, it doesn't really
not the
make
PG
a lot of
version.
Yeah, I've heard the new version doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but definitely
It
get
doesn't.
it and future-proof yourself.
Yeah, and they've got it coming out with it's coming out with like an action figure with it too. It's like a big box set of it. So
Yeah, it's like
Pretty
looks
cool.
like a VHS box, and then they put the movie
Yeah.
and the little action
like a
figure
big
in
box,
there. Yeah,
like an old big box VHS. They throw an action figure in there for you. Yeah, worth it. I think I saw it on sale for like $25 or something with the figure. So
oh, that's not bad. All right, well, enough shilling for Full Moon. Next up, Todd Lewis's big movie. A teenage boy faces off against a mysterious grave robber known only as the Tall Man. Released March 28, 1978. This is the American sci-fi, fantasy, horror, action, adventure, romance film Phantasm, written, directed, photographed, and edited by Don Coscarelli. Phantasm. So I threw in all those other genres just to make it sound better, but you really don't need to. Phantasm is my God, Phantasm is a landmark film, in my opinion.
I mean, what can we say about Phantasm? Something everybody has seen, but I mean, we introduced a new horror icon to the world. Angus Grimm kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, he was mostly known for writing linear notes, not a huge actor, and came to Phantasm, and the rest is history.
Yep. Pretty amazing film. This is another one that's weird. This is another movie that I caught on TV as a kid and fell in love with it and have loved it ever since. But it is so different. It really was a completely different kind of movie than we were used to at the time.
Yeah, it really was. It was its own, had its own tonality, and it stepped away from the standard slasher, which everybody was doing. The recycled type of formula. It really gave us this interesting story. That's multiple genres that gave us a whole new world of things to come. Multiple sequels, all which were very good, and gave us the iconic Tall Man. What can we say?
Except for Ravager. Maybe not so much Ravager.
I mean, we're talking about Phantasm 1 through 4, so
There you go. Yeah. Thank you for not including part 5 in there. I mean, they tried, but, hey.
what are you going to do? But, yeah, I mean, it was, he did a lot with this movie. Coscarelli basically did this whole damn movie. He came up with creative ways to save money and save his budget. I know one of the things he did is he would rent equipment on the weekend and return it so it wouldn't be pay for it all the time, which is really smart.
Yeah.
I know it's just it's a great movie. I mean, it's one I've seen forever. I grew up on this one. It's I don't know what else I can say about it except I love Phantasm. You know, it's a beautiful movie.
There you go. Let us indulge ourselves in the premiere trailer thingy that you have prepared for us, shall we?
Oh, it's not actually a trailer for Phantasm.
Okay, we'll see what it is. It's a surprise.
Haha.
Welcome to the world of terror. When I'm not busy embalming bodies, which isn't often, I like to relax with some good family reading. Let me introduce you to my personal library of Fangoria, the leader in horror entertainment. What a fascinatingly hideous cover of Freddy Krueger. And devilishly candid reviews of the latest horror videos. And gloriously bloody color photos from the newest Friday the 13th. They're all here in Fangoria. Can I persuade you to subscribe? Customers! Ah, let the dead bodies wait.
Good old Angus.
Look,
He was one of the best guests I think I've ever met. Fantastic guy. 90-something years old and just amazing and rocking it. So,
everybody wanted an actual trailer, guys. Look,
oh,
we watched Phantasm not too long ago. I wanted to give you guys something different.
you know what? I like that. Something. I absolutely love that you picked that to show us for Phantasm.
I did. You know, I wanted something a little different. I've got like 4 Phantasm trailers from. I think we've showed a few trailers just from stuff we've done. But I love that one of nostalgic. I remember that one. You know, you got Angus selling Fangoria. It's really well done. It's a really well done commercial. It's a lot of fun.
I wonder where they played that back in the day. Was
Let
that
the
like
dead
on a
bodies wait.
videotape or something?
Yeah, that actually played before some videotapes, and it was on some late night movies. It was dropped in. So,
Gotcha. All right, so that's Phantasm, one of the best of the 70s. Moving on to something completely different. Charles,
oh
please.
man. Terror ensues when the crew of a commercial starship investigates a distress call from an alien vessel. First premiered May 25th, 1979 as the opening film of the Seattle International Film Festival. It is the science fiction horror masterpiece, awesomeness, amazingness, whatever. Alien, directed by Ridley Scott and written by Dan O'Bannon.
Yes. Well, I tell you what, I did watch the trailer you sent me for this one, and I think that this trailer is going to make up for the Phantasm trailer because, wow, what a good trailer it is.
I spent some time getting us a good trailer and cleaning that trailer a little bit too. So
Okay. Well, why don't we go and watch
let's
that
roll it.
one then? Yeah, and then we'll come back and talk about it. In space, no one can hear you scream, Charles.
Man, I'm gonna tell you guys that Alien and Aliens, but mostly Alien, I know way too much about because I've studied that movie inside and out. I've read multiple books on Alien, the production of Alien. I've read all the drafts of the screenplay. You could say I'm obsessed with that movie. I love that movie. So well done, and almost wasn't made. It was a super hard sell for a long time. After Star Wars was successful, the ideal of doing outer space movies was a little more reachable for people, and you know, Alien was made because of it. But Alien was inspired by a lot of different things. The original title of the movie was actually called Star Beast, which was a horrible title.
I love that title, though.
It had ties to Roger Corman for a while under that title. Under Star
I can
Beast.
imagine. That definitely sounds like a Corman title.
Yeah.
Star Beast.
Star Beast.
They probably brought the script in and they went, hey, look. Roger probably said, look, I'll do it, but it has to be called Rape Star Beast.
Rape of the Star Beast from space, all right? Really great, though. I mean, my God, the set design on that is nuts. And a lot of the design of this is all thanks to H.R. Geiger, who was insane and fantastic and was such a perfectionist that, you know, he was actually on set airbrushing stuff himself to make sure it looked right. You know, he not only, some people think, oh, the ideal of the way the set looks came from him. No, H.R. Geiger was on set, like, I'm doing this stuff. This is what it should look like. He was crazy.
Well, I'm with you. I love everything about Alien. It's a movie that I saw when I was about 7 years old as a kid in a theater. My cousin worked for the Dallas offices of 20th Century Fox, and it was just an office. There was nothing glamorous about it, but one thing they did have was a private screening room with, 25, 30 seats. And they had a 35 millimeter projector and everything, and we watched it in that little small theater, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Probably changed my life.
Oh, it's so great, and there's so much complexity to Alien, the way it was made, and so many fun facts about that movie. Just stuff that happened by coincidence, like when they first find the facehuggers and they disturb the eggs. There's a lot of scenes of like laser beams going through the camera. And that all happened because Roger Daltrey of The Who was filming a music video next door to where they were doing this and gave them some laser beams to use. And they put them in the movie. They're like, oh, maybe we can do it at this scene. And it worked. And it looks fantastic. It's just crazy stuff like that.
That is cool. That's very cool.
Another cool thing about that movie is to get perspective of size, so they wanted things to feel a lot bigger. And this is, Ridley Scott being crazy, but they actually built like a 50-foot model of stuff, but Ridley Scott still wanted it to look bigger, so they actually dressed kids up in spacesuits. So when you see them climbing through the alien ship, it's little kids the long shots are little kids that they put in spacesuits to make it look a lot bigger. So
wow, that's crazy.
The guy who played the alien was 6'10". He was a huge guy. He was Nigerian, I believe.
Balaji Badejo.
Yep,
Badejo or Badejo, yeah. And nobody ever knows what happened to that guy, apparently.
Yeah, he was sitting in a pub drinking, and they were like, holy crap, he's the biggest guy who could fit in our suit. That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. I don't know what happened to him. He's not an actor. He wore the suit. He wore, anytime you see a full-on, the full alien shots, it's him in the suit. I know he died. He died like 30 years ago or something, but he was really young. He basically did Alien. That's what he did.
Yep. And Alien had Veronica Cartwright in it, and I love her as an actress. Mm-hmm. She's great. She's been in some of my favorite movies. Harry Dean
Stanton's my man. I am going to be Harry Dean Stanton in like 4 more years. That's just who I'm going to be. Yep. I am Harry Dean Stanton. It's my life.
And then we can't, if we're going to mention people, we have to mention John Hurt, Ian Holm, Yaphet Kotto, Tom Skerritt.
I can remember the John Hurt moment when the alien emerges from John Hurt. I can remember the first time I saw that. I was 6 years old, and it was on VHS. And I remember my face was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What's happening? This is going to be the rest of my life." And it really kind of was. It's one of the movies that did that to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you know, I was very young when I saw this, probably just like you, and made a huge impression, but it made a huge impression on everybody. This movie changed the course of filmmaking, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it was so different at the time, and that's Ridley Scott, you know. And then we talked about Aliens in the '80s series, but Aliens was equally as impressive, but on a different level. Like it was something completely different, and this movie is terrifying, though. It is absolutely terrifying. This movie is.
It really is. It really is. And
I mean, I could do a show about Alien all day, so I could probably move on. I could just talk about Alien for like 2 hours. Be like, all right, guys, it's the Alien show.
right, yeah. Well, huge landmark of a film. So we did want to spend a little extra time talking about that one.
Yeah, have to.
But the next one up is a personal favorite of mine.
Oh God.
I love this movie. It's so wacky, but a man tries to uncover an unconventional psychologist's therapy techniques on his institutionalized wife amidst a series of brutal murders. Released May 25th, 1975, this is the Canadian psychological body horror, The Brood, written and directed by David Cronenberg and starring Oliver Reed.
Yeah.
Somebody else that I truly love. A maniac in his own right.
Drank himself to death.
Drank himself to death, yep. But The Brood, man. Freaking David Cronenberg. I mean,
This is a movie that could only come from Cronenberg. Really.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know, there's a twist. I mean, the title of the movie gives it away, but there is a twist.
Well, it's funny. There is a twist at the end, and that's when it gets really weird. But like, so many posters give away the twist. There's even some DVD covers that gave away the twist, like an artistic version. And I'm like, okay, guys, come on. So just like, yeah, it's gonna happen. But
Yeah.
it's such a weird movie. This is not one of my favorite Cronenberg movies, but it is one of his weirdest damn movies. You know, it's just like, and it's not really. It's not that weird all the way through. It's weird, like, the last 20 minutes or so are just completely like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, you know, it is weird, though, because, you know, you've got this doctor who's teaching this weird psychological technique to help people, and it's pretty, like, I don't know, the technique itself is weird, but
Yeah.
Oliver Reed plays this guy, then you've got Samantha Eggar and Art Hindle. Art's another Canadian actor that did a lot of Canadian films like Black Christmas, and but it is a freaky movie. Looks like Felix Silla is also in this. He plays one of the creatures. I guess we're not spoiling a 40-year-old movie, are we?
No,
But,
Felix plays one of the little creatures, though. The creatures are very creepy.
It's very creepy. The whole premise around this movie is crazy creepy, but it's typical Cronenberg. I mean, it's body horror. It's all the way body horror. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's usually for our year in horror, I pick one movie and I rewatch it, and I rewatched this one because I had to, and I just like, yeah, it's still weird. It's still just crazy.
I don't know. I could watch that one over and over again. You know, The Brood. I love The Brood. I can watch just about any Cronenberg movie, all the way up to the Twins movie, whatever that was. I can't remember it right now, but
What about 1979's Fast Company, about famous race car drag racer Lucky Man?
I've never seen those the Fast Company, or I don't think I've even seen those early ones like Crimes of the Future or Stereo. I don't think I've seen any of those.
If you haven't seen Fast Company, that is a fun car exploitation movie with John Saxon in it. Let me just say
Is it
that.
really?
It's a Cronenberg movie. It's a Cronenberg movie too. It's a full Cronenberg movie. He wrote the screenplay and directed it, and it's not weird whatsoever. It just shows you. I give people that one because this is the same year as the Brood came out. So if you watch the Brood and Fast Company, you can see the range that David Cronenberg had, which he would later use to make like Eastern Promises and stuff. You know, you can really see it.
So I like Naked Lunch. I like Existence. I'm trying to think. Spider kind of lost me on Spider. I did like History of Violence.
Eastern Violence is good. Eastern Promises is good.
Mm-hmm. Eastern Promises.
Crash is good.
He's a great director. Let's just say he's about 98% awesome.
I'm very excited that he's gonna come see us. You know, very excited.
I am too, and I'm glad he's still on board to do the convention. So
yeah,
that's exciting.
I've got a tattoo spot for him on my arm ready, so he's got to come.
Sweet. All right, well let's transition from the Brood to another. Oh, we didn't play the trailer
first.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
You are about to journey beyond fear, beyond terror, in a major motion picture so frightening it will devastate you totally. The Brood, David Cronenberg's ultimate experience in inner terror. They're waiting for you. The Brood. Rated R.
And a major motion picture.
Whoa.
The Brood.
That's the 35mm spot for it. Weird movie though. It's actually on Criterion.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've got HBO Max,
Videodrome, they put Videodrome out too.
Yeah.
Criterion.
Yeah, so it's a great copy. It's streaming on HBO Max. I think the Criterion is a great release, but really, you can buy a digital copy of it on Amazon for like $12.99, and it's basically the same digital streaming copy.
I will say this is one of those weird movies that all the clothing and the styles and the home decor is really dated. I remember that part about it. It just seemed everything seemed.
It's
really
straight
dated.
79.
Yeah,
it's straight 79. I mean,
exactly.
It's super dated, but it's the dating actually helps it be even more weird when you watch it.
Yeah, it does.
But that's what helps it continue on. All right.
So
I'm going to transition though, because I got one here that I like. That's a lot of fun. An artist takes to the New York streets at night to kill random homeless people with his trusty drill.
Wow. You could be the next Michael Winslow.
Whoop! Lord Crier! Whoop, whoop! Here it is! Here it is!
Wow, that sounded just like a real drill, man.
Did you want to see it again? You ready?
Mm-hmm. Are you sure you're not running a drill over there, Charles?
You know, I'm just that amazing that things just happen, and I'm here when it happens.
All right,
Sorry.
I'm calling everybody, and we're remaking Police Academy.
I'm not starting that. I'm not going to be in that. Only if I can mix it with Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS.
Okay, Police Academy of the SS.
Police
Starring
Academy of
Ilsa.
the SS, starring Loyd Crier and Charles Dose. I can't do any more than that. That's it.
That's fantastic. All right, keep going.
Yeah, so this was released June 15th, 79. It's the American black comedy slasher flick, The Driller Killer, directed and starring Abel Ferrara. All right, Lloyd.
Yes.
The Driller Killer.
I like Driller Killer. It's one of those movies that it gets on your nerves in a lot of ways, but it's meant to get on your nerves.
Yes.
It elicits a feeling and a response, a bodily response. You know what I mean?
That's what you do to me, Lloyd.
I do elicit a lot of bodily responses, but it does, like, the punks playing next door are what drive him crazy, and they drive me crazy too when I watch that movie. I want to go over there and shoot every one of them.
It's such a great little low budget like psychodrama. It's so crazy, that movie.
Mm-hmm. And I love Abel Ferrara. I love just about everything he's ever done.
Yeah,
I think he's a great director.
Abel Ferrara is a great director. He went on. He sort of, I don't know. He sort of, after Driller Kill, you didn't really hear much from him till the '90s. But 90 he brought out King of New York, Bad Lieutenant, the Body Snatchers remake. It was a fun little director. Really has his own style. Driller Killer is an interesting movie because it just sort of tiptoes that line between like a trash movie and like an art house movie. It's just like, which one do I want to be? I don't know, but I'm gonna be one. It's like, all right, what will we do?
And it's a great companion piece to his next movie that he did, Miss 45. So they're both really similar, I think. And what I love about Abel Ferrara is when you watch his movies, you feel like you're in that era of New York, from that time.
Oh,
period.
yeah. Fear City is another one, too. It's really like that. That's a crime drama. But Fear City, man, you feel 80s New York in that movie. It's crazy.
I've seen Fear City with Billy D. Williams. Melanie Griffith's in that, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Tom Berenger's in that. Radon Chong is in that, too. It's a good one.
Yep. It is a good one. But, there's a couple of people that are talking about they remember getting Driller Killer on Blu-ray in their VIP bag a couple of years ago from Arrow Video. So let's give Arrow Video a round of applause for making sure all of our VIPs got a copy of that. That was really cool.
Yeah, I got a copy of their Steelbook for it. It's just a fun movie. It's really great.
It is, and I love it because he goes to the store and he buys like a belt with battery packs to power the drill. It's great, man. It's awesome.
It's so great. Let's roll the trailer for it. Let's just do the trailer. Why not?
All right, let me find it. Here it is.
See Jimmy Lane as Reno Miller, a man driven to the very edge. And then beyond. The Driller Killer is coming.
Just a window.
Okay, we're back, just so you know, Charles. Yeah, we were just talking about how there's a shot where you can see some posters from his previous movies. And I want to say that one of the Driller Killer cover art or maybe the poster art, some of the early art, you actually see that on the wall, if I'm not mistaken.
I think the poster, because he did like an X-rated movie, and I think it was 9 Lives of a Wet Pussy. That's what it is.
I was gonna say that too, because I remember that one in there.
Yeah, I think it's that one. Because he didn't do too much before this. He did a documentary about Keith Richards, but I think that poster is the one that appears in there because you can't mistake that poster or the title of it.
Yeah, exactly. Which is out on Vinegar Syndrome has that out, I think, don't they?
I believe Vinegar Syndrome did bring that one out, the 9 Lives.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the title again, but
yeah, we're not gonna say that too many times.
Somebody had brought it out because I remember seeing it and I was like, "Oh, I want to buy that." I never bought it. It's a weird movie, but it's not exactly what you think. Yeah. It's not exactly what you think it is, but
I've actually seen that movie on an old bootleg, and it's not very good. And it's not what
it's not very good.
Yeah.
It's not what you think it is. That's why I have to tell people, don't buy that thinking it's going to be something it's not.
Yeah. All right. What else about Driller Killer, Charles?
Yeah, I mean, I think we could jump across from Driller Killer. It's just a great movie, and I think a lot of people have seen it because Arrow Video kind of, gave some of our VIPs it. But I do like that movie. I mean, it's like grotesque art house fun. That's what I'm going to call it.
Perfect. I'm going with it. All right, so the next one, A Savage Beast.
Oh yeah, Loyd.
Beast.
You're
Grown
such a beast, Lloyd.
I am a beast. Grown to monstrous size and driven mad by toxic waste. Spreads terror and death on a Maine countryside. Released June 15th, 1979. This is the American sci-fi horror film Prophecy, directed by John Frankenhammer. Or Heimer.
Frankenhammer.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
John Frankfurter.
John
movie, guys.
Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
Jingleheimer Smith. His name is Lloyd's name too. That's all I got.
Cheers to you. So the Prophecy. I want to go ahead and play the trailer for those that maybe have not seen this. And,
yeah, let's do that. Let's roll
we'll
it.
Come back.
It is not the offspring of witchcraft or Satan. It was created by man. It will grow to be 15 feet tall. It will have huge eyes, webbed hands, hooked claws. It will walk upright. And it will mindlessly, mercilessly kill every living thing it meets. Prophecy.
So Prophecy. This movie predated Kane Hodder's sleeping bag kill scene by like how many years? I don't know how many years, but
like a decade.
Yeah. Quite a bit. But Charles, like you said a minute ago, it is kind of a cheesy flick, this Prophecy is. But it takes itself very seriously. It's about it's about the environment. It's about how we're not taking care of the environment. And there's a lot of Indian culture going on here because there's natives that live, around what's going on, and they're trying to get all of this to stop because they know about this big giant creature in the woods.
Yeah. I mean, like kind of what you're saying, Prophecy is a pretty complex film. Kind of works similar technique that Alien did, where you don't see the monster too much. It sort of relies on hiding it through some good shots and some decent editing, right? But Kevin Peter Hall actually played the mutant beast in that, and he would go on to play the Predator. So that's pretty fun fact.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I always thought that was cool because this is a guy who kind of his only roles were dressing up in a costume, and they're pretty well known.
The creature is a little awkward, but I'll tell you that I grew up on a farm, and I've seen calves born with, disfigured calves, and they look a lot like the creature in that movie. Mm-hmm. I will tell you that. So as awkward as they are, they look pretty authentic,
Yeah. John Frankenheimer, he worked really, really hard in this movie. And Frankenheimer was already a pretty well-known director at that time. He had done Manchurian Candidate, Birdman of Alcatraz, Black Sunday. Frankenheimer always expressed some discontent with the studio for this because his original version was a lot more graphic, and they made him cut it to a PG for a more mass appeal sell. And I don't think we've ever actually seen the actual version of this. It's always been that theatrical version. So I'd love to see the John Frankenheimer version,
Yeah, I would too. It's still a rather good movie, and it does kind of suck you in. The story kind of, makes you feel compelled to finish the rest of the film. So, and it was kind of a big deal when it came out. I mean, it seemed to make, I remember a lot about it back in the day, back in 79 when this first came out. There was a lot of talk about this movie.
Yeah, it was a fairly successful film too. It made a decent amount at the box office. And I think afterwards it was kind of forgotten, after that.
Yeah.
And I think it's got a nice little following on the home video market. Shout Factory has a Blu-ray out of this, and if you have CBS All Access, that's where it's streaming. But it's one I'd recommend checking out. John Frankenheimer was a great director. This was about the time he sort of slowed down a little bit, but I mean, I do enjoy it though.
Absolutely, me too. So, 2 big thumbs up, 2 enthusiastic thumbs up from Charles and Loyd. Yay!
Those thumbs up.
Okay.
Right.
So
it's happening now.
Moving on. This is one that we talked about recently.
I had to have it. Killer Bats Plague an Indian Reservation in New Mexico, released June 22nd, 1979. It is the American horror film Nightwing, directed by Arthur Hiller. Oh, yeah. Nightwing.
Another Native American type themed movie. Batwing, or not Batwing, Nightwing.
Batwing, featuring Lloyd Cryer.
As Batman.
The sequel to Nightwing.
Batwing.
Batwing. Are you like his his brother that doesn't get enough attention? You're Batman's brother. Batwing.
Yeah, I'm just
You're like,
Batwing.
well, my brother's Batman. My brother's Batman, and I'm Batwing. So
yeah,
I'll fight crime too.
And I'll kick your butt just like Batman.
I'll kick your butt just like Batman. What's up, Batman? Just like this. I'm Batwing.
What's up?
What's up, Batwing?
What's up? That's our new catchphrase. What's up?
What's up? What's up, Batwing?
Okay, Nightwing. Arthur Hiller.
It's
got David Warner, and then it's got Stephen Mocked, who
our man
that we just interviewed recently. You can go back and watch that interview with Stephen Mocked. He played Walker Chi. He played a Native American in it. And we found out in that interview that Stephen Mock was often cast as a Native American.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
He was. This is another one that it was beautifully shot in New Mexico. Hasn't aged that well. The effects are kind of hokey in it. The bats, they don't look that good.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny too is if you read up on this a little bit, the guy who did the effects in this was Oscar winner effects artist Carlo Rambaldi. And they paid him to make these super realistic effects, and he didn't do it. I don't know what happened with this movie. You guys, if you see the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But the bats come out, and they're like rubbery, and you can tell they're on like lines and stuff. And it's like, okay,
yeah, whatever.
But that adds to the fun of these movies, though. That adds to the fun of these movies, especially going back. You see them.
Twitch and 8 just asked, is Nightwing streaming? And according to Charles's notes here, no, it is not streaming. But can get a Blu-ray double feature, which I bought when this first came out. It's got Nightwing and Shadow of the Hawk on it, which are 2 Native American horror style themed type flicks. So it's well worth it. Well worth it to buy that Mill Creek DVD Blu-ray. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's I'm going to give away a copy of that today, too, during the show. That's
sweet!
Because I think people need Nightwing in their life. And Shadow of the Hawk's a good movie, too.
Huh?
Shadow of the Hawk's a great movie.
Oh, yeah, it is a good movie. Yeah, both of them are. Let's show the trailer to Nightwing real quick.
Oh, yeah. This is a real crap.
What is it that you fear the most? Is it the dark? Or is it something that waits in the dark? Something so perfect in its evil that it has remained unchanged since the beginning of time. Something that has no fear of man. Something out there, waiting for the light to fade. Nightwing.
Let Chief find out what bled your animal to death. Made bite marks no one's ever seen, and left a stink of ammonia.
They filled the sky. It was like the end of the world.
And each species of life gives something in return for its own existence. All but one, a freak. The vampire bat alone is that species.
Nightwing.
Charles, I wonder if he hit that bat when he shot at it with that 45.
I don't know.
He's got to be a good shot if he can hit a bat flying at him.
I can hit a bat.
You can hit a bat?
Heck yeah, man. As long as you staple it to the wall and,
There you go. But Nightwing's a fun movie, and if you want to check that out, it's also out on Blu-ray double feature, as we mentioned, and it's totally worth the $8 or $9 you're going to spend on it.
Yeah. It is. And we're going to give away a copy of it too.
Absolutely.
I think people need Nightwing.
You need some Nightwing in your life.
Yeah.
I actually love that kind of subgenre, though. The Native American kind of folklore horror-ish movie. There's several of those out there, so.
Yeah, there's several. It's a pretty fun movie, though. I like it a lot. Like I said, it's not aged the best, but it's still a lot of fun. It's still really well done. There's Native American horror is not a whole lot of them, but there's some pretty good ones,
Ollie Tapa wins for the best chat comment. Those bats were cute. I hope I don't have to fight them one day. I don't know why, but that's just hilarious to me.
All right. Ollie Tapa, she's getting a copy of Nightwing then. I'm going to send it to her. She wins.
There you go. She wins. Best comment. I love that.
Best comment.
Those bats were cute. I hope I don't have to fight them one day. Okay.
I'm sending Ollie a copy of Nightwing, so she has to fight the bats. There you go, Ollie.
Boom. You won, Ollie, and you didn't even know it.
And don't worry, guys. I'm also going to give away a copy of Battlefield Earth on VHS.
Oh, yeah.
Coming soon.
This is the movie that took down the show the other night.
Guys, sending out a copy.
Super rare VHS copy of the John Travolta masterpiece.
This is supposed to be Stephen Burch, but Stephen Burch won't give me his address, so I can send this to him. So.
He won't take it, huh? I'm gonna find out his address.
I know his address. I'm just thinking about sending it to him at random. I'm gonna send it to Bert. I'm gonna sign it. Bert, make it hurt. Battlefield Earth from Charles.
Boom. I think what we should do is show up at people's houses like at 3:00 in the morning and ring the doorbell and just leave this on the porch. When they open the door, they'll be like, Battlefield Earth, Loyd and Charles were here.
Battlefield Earth, we were here.
We were here, bitches.
We should wrap it in like 9 boxes, like a box within a box, like one of those Russian dolls. People get all excited. They're like, I'm gonna get something, and they get down, and it's a small box, and it's got Battlefield Earth in it, and a note from us that just says, "Ha ha, you've been Battlefield Earthed.
You've been Rickrolled." It'd be like our Rickroll.
You've been Rickroll.
It's our
Rickroll you.
It's our own version of Rickroll. All right, you ready for me to go to the next one, Charles?
I don't know. Do it.
Okay.
What do you got for me?
In 1913, the charming, seductive, and sinister vampire Count Dracula travels to England.
I thought you were talking about me. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was, but anyway. Travels to England in search of an immortal bride. Released July 20th, 1979. This is the British-American romantic horror film Dracula, directed by John Badham and starring Frank Langella, Laurence Olivier, and Donald Pleasance. This is a
great movie.
This is one of the best Dracula movies ever made. Period.
Oh, it is. It is. Period. Period. It is one of the best Dracula movies. There's no getting around how good this Dracula movie is.
It is absolutely fantastic. Frank Langella was an awesome Dracula. This movie is directed masterfully. I love this movie. I love Dracula.
I know you do. You know, Dracula, this is actually a really good one. And 1979, we got 2 really good Dracula movies. You know, we got Nosferatu and we got Dracula. And this came after many years of Dracula being died out. You know, they beat Dracula to death with all the Christopher Reeve movies.
Christopher Reeve.
Christopher Lee movies, you know.
Christopher Lee.
And these are really well made movies. You know, I love these movies a lot. The director of this came off of directing Saturday Night Fever. That's what he did before this. Oh, staying alive.
I was just hearing the Bee Gees in my head and I couldn't help but dance. Just like, you know, a person does when they hear the Bee Gees.
I like the Bee Gees.
I do too. I love the Bee Gees.
You know, and this director, he would go on to do a lot of other stuff like War Games and Short Circuit, you know, movies that are masterful. But this is a great movie. It's a lot different than Saturday Night Fever was, but I
definitely
love
not enough disco music, but I'll look past that.
Not enough disco music. You know, I think if somebody would take the time to re-edit this with some Bee Gees, it would be phenomenal. You know, I could see, like, when Dracula busts in and the moon hits them, they start playing Staying Alive. Whoo!
Yeah.
It would change my life, you know, it would do it.
Well, I will tell you that Dracula in this movie, played by Frank Langella, he embodies what we've always said about, or what they've always said about Dracula. He's sexy, he's debonair, he's smart, you know. He's a great Dracula, man. He's awesome.
You're very debonair, Lloyd.
Oh, thank you. That VHS tape looks huge.
Thank
right
you.
Now. Wow, you have a huge VHS tape, Charles.
It's my copy of Battlefield Earth. I've been saving it.
Todd Seeley says, Night Fever, Staying Alive. It could work, Charles. Uh-oh. It hides your whole head. It looks bigger than your head.
Ah!
So anyway, back to Dracula. Check it out, guys. It is a great flick. It's like Charles and I said, it really is probably one of the best Dracula movies ever made.
Yeah, it is. It's really fantastic through and through. You know, it's got a really fantastic score done by John Williams. You know, John Williams we talk about a lot because basically everything John Williams does is amazing. Mm-hmm. But really, really great score. Donald Pleasance is fun in it. You know, Frank Langella is actually really good as Dracula, and I'll give it a thumbs up, Lloyd, on my side.
Thumbs up from me too.
We got double
It's
thumbs.
Fantastic. Huh.
It's super os fantastico. I'm gonna do my thumb.
I love it.
Super
Not much.
fantastico.
I love it
super
so much.
fantastico.
Dracula.
I like it because
thumbs
Dracula,
up to him.
The blood of the horse do not kill me in this movie. It's very good, horse.
9.
9? Not 9. A good 9?
A good
9. Where'd my Battlefield Earth go?
Avita saying
it left the room.
You knocked it off a
Battlefield
minute ago.
Earth. I know, but it disappeared. It like evaporated into like thin air.
While Charles is looking,
well,
we're
it's
gonna
okay
play
because
the
I got
trailer.
11 more copies of it. So this so happens in my drawer here.
You still got
In my
more.
drawer here, I got another one. I got one here too. There's some in this box over here.
Okay, Dracula, the trailer.
Yeah, it's a great trailer. Let's roll the trailer.
All right.
He has walked through centuries, untouched by time. He has seen empires rise and fall. He possesses the wisdom of the ages. Throughout eternity, no man has ever provoked such terrible fear and such haunting desire. Dracula, starring Frank Langella. With Laurence Olivier.
I am the last of my kind, descended from a conquering race. But I must warn you to take good care. If at any time my company does not please you, you will have only yourself to blame.
Oh, God. Help my poor Salem.
Dracula, the story of the greatest lover who ever lived, died, and lived again.
Sacrilege!
Dracula.
Ah, yes, indeed. It is Frank Langella's Dracula.
Yeah, I think he's really great as Dracula.
He plays it super well.
There's a Blu-ray out for that, guys. It's like $10, but it's a Universal Studios release, and Universal and Warner Brothers are not known for bringing out the best Blu-rays. They basically just take their master copies and throw them on a disc, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I caught it on Stars not too long ago.
Yeah, it's streaming on Stars still.
Okay. Yeah, so if you got Stars, check it out there. I really loved it, and I thought the way he crawls up and down the walls in that movie, or scales the wall, is really creepy. So,
yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, so we can jump up to the next one. I think this is another one that's pretty well known, guys. Very well known. If you haven't seen this one, you at least know the title. Newlyweds move into a large house where a mass murder was committed and experience strange manifestations which drive them away. Released July 27th, 1979, it is the American supernatural horror flick, The Amityville Horror, directed by Stuart Rosenberg, starring James Brolin, Margot Kidder, and it's based on Jay Anson's 1977 book of the same name. Amityville Horror spawned like 9,800 sequels, and 2 of them are good. It's Amityville, man. One of those movies that's kind of the rental staple from childhood.
Yeah, you know what? I love Amityville Horror. I love this movie. I still find it creepy in a lot of the scenes. Our favorite, Margot Kidder, is fantastic in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
She's so great. I miss her so much. We had her in an early Texas Frightmare weekend, and boy, was she incredible.
She was great. I got to have drinks with her just by myself for a couple hours one night. We just talked about a lot of her movies and stuff, and really sweet lady, really nice lady. Definitely one of my highlights of doing Frightmare was that experience with Margot, because all the stuff she did.
Yeah. Well, I have a funny story about the first time I saw this movie. It's real quick. At the beginning, the movie opens with a thunderstorm. Mm-hmm. And I'm 7 years old, man. And I'm in the theater, and that big, loud thunder crash happens. And I screamed like a little girl. And the whole theater turned around and laughed. I did. I was like, ah! But I have so many good memories of going to see this movie in the theater. And it was just the thunder crash. I guess I was just amped up knowing this was going to be a scary ass movie. And as soon as I heard that thunder,
if you want to create that loud scream, may I recommend a copy of Battlefield Earth on VHS, courtesy of Charles Bose. Yeah, I mean Amityville. It's I can tell you. So, I'm one of the people who I like Amityville Horror 2 better than the first Amityville. There is people like that. I'm one of them. But this is one that took me till I was later to appreciate, because I remember being younger. I didn't like this movie very much.
As a kid?
As a younger teenager, when I was getting into horror a lot, didn't like this one. I'm not really sure what it was, but I wasn't a huge fan of the story, and it kind of dragged on a little bit. But as I got older, understood it a lot more, and I've grown to appreciate and really like this one. For the kind of artistic piece it is, the background in it, and kind of what it spawned,
Yeah. It's a great movie. I wanted to say hello to somebody that just joined us. I'm trying to keep up with, but Elvis of the Dead just joined us.
Elvis of the Dead. I like that name.
I met Elvis a few days ago, actually, and Elvis is an amazing artist. So if you guys go find his Instagram page and check him out, Elvis of the Dead. He's got some really cool horror art if you guys are looking for any, but he's got a Michael Myers that kind of blows my mind, and he's got an It. So I met Elvis the other day, and he's got some great art. Go check it out.
Well, I'm not familiar with Elvis of the Dead, but I'm going to go look at his art because you got me hooked now. We should have pulled some examples.
I did not know that he was going to be watching us tonight, or else I would have. But everybody go to his Insta, his IG page, Elvis of the Dead. You can find him on. I think he's got a Facebook and I know he's got IG. I'm not sure where else you can find him, but check him out because I was impressed with his art.
Nice. Very nice.
Ali Tapa says, my mom had a paperback of the real story, and I read that before watching Amityville Horror. Made the movie that much better. Yep.
Nice. Never read the book, so I'd be interested in reading the book and maybe giving a rewatch to Amityville. It's been a while since I've watched this one, maybe about 6 or 7 years. So yeah, I'm down. There's been a lot of Blu-ray releases of this one too. So
there have been. Yeah.
And it's also streaming on Prime Video right now too, guys. If you're looking for something on Prime, this one's streaming on Prime Video.
There's a lot of good comments here. Part 2, Todd says Part 2 has Diane Franklin's Creepy Bro. I love Part 2. I think that's actually based on another Lutz. Not the Lutz, but the what are the two older people, the paranormal investigators? That's based on one of their, Ed and Lorraine.
Yeah, the Warlords. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, like I was saying, I like the second one better than the first one, but I still like the first one. It's really fun movie. Like you said, it took me a little while to catch on to it, but it really is a great Oscar. I mean, really great movie. It was nominated for an Oscar for the score. I wanted to bring up the score is really great in it. I did always appreciate the score.
It's
Lalo
creepy.
Schifrin. Yeah, Lalo Schifrin did the score on it. We've talked about him a lot in the 70s series because he's kind of popped up a lot here. But again, the guy who wrote the Mission Impossible theme, but I mean, we brought him up on a lot of our movies so far. He did quite a few around this time. Day of the Animals, Manitou. Yeah, so many.
A lot. And the other thing that I wanted to address, Todd Lewis says, still a great movie, but it lost a bit of the luster once it was exposed that the Lutzes were frauds. Yeah, it is, but I don't know if you have seen My Amityville Horror, and it's about one of the Lutz kids, and it's a pretty good documentary. And I don't know. I mean, you kind of are left with going, well, were they really frauds, or was there something going on? And you know what I mean? It's got Daniel Lutz. Have you seen that, Charles?
Have not seen it.
Have to watch it. Lorraine Warren is in it. Ronald DeFeo is in it. Well, it's just from archive footage. But they've got archive footage of George and Kathy Lutz, and it's a good documentary. I like it.
Nice. To watch it. I'll have to check it out. Like I said, I know the first few Amityville movies. I know I liked the first one and the second one. There's been a lot of sequels, even just in name. I haven't seen most of them because they're not really supposed to be good.
Well,
I could probably go back and rewatch
There's a bunch of sequels that aren't even related, that just have the word Amityville in it. And
that's what I said, just by name. They're kind of by name. They just put up there. The Amityville Dentist. he's here.
Yeah, it's just kind of like that. Todd, I don't know where you can watch my Amityville Horror right now. I know you can rent it for like $4 on Amazon. It was streaming somewhere not too long ago, but track it down. I think it's a cool little documentary.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
we
man.
move on?
Let's roll up.
Charles?
The next one. I don't think
one.
anybody's seen this one, so let's try this one out.
Nobody's heard of this movie. Strangers searching for a young woman's missing father arrive at a tropical island where a doctor desperately seeks the cause and cure of a recent epidemic of the undead. Released in Italy August 25th, 1979, the Italian horror film Zombie, directed by Lucio Fulci. Released in Italy as Zombie 2 to market as a sequel to Romero's Dawn of the Dead. Released as Zombie, Z-O-M-B-I, there, also known as Zombie Flesh Eaters. Fulci, man. Right?
What do you want to say about this movie? It's a great movie, you know?
It probably has the best zombie shark attack scene ever made.
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Nobody's ever going to beat that scene, you know? Yeah.
It's crazy.
Fulci, we talked about a lot in our 80s series because that's kind of where he ramped it up with a lot of this. But we've mentioned him a lot on this series too, the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, great guy who, you know, kind of had problems at the end of his life. And I do love this movie. There's a 4K version of this out from Blue Underground, which is always a fun thing to see. Movies like this in 4K. But yeah, Zombie. I mean, it started the trend of movies being called Zombie, like Zombie 3, that had nothing to do with these movies. Zombie 4 and Zombie 5, Killing Birds, that was just released by Vinegar Syndrome.
It's also got Tisa Farrow, sister of Mia Farrow.
Oh, Tisa, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Johnson's in this too. He was another actor. He did a bunch of British films in the 60s.
Al
This kind
Fiver,
of
who did a lot
this
of
kind of had
stuff.
our Fulci crew. I mean, Sergio Salvetti did cinematography. Fabio Frizzi did the music for it. You know, and it always worked out well.
I think that is probably my favorite part of this entire movie is the score. I love the
Oh,
score.
yeah.
Fabio Frizzi was
Fabio.
He was definitely a different kind of composer.
Yeah, you know, he's one of those fantastic composers, and I would love to meet him. I think he's like 68 or 69 now, isn't he?
Yeah,
I would love
he's
to
on
meet him.
Facebook. I see him on there all the time.
Let's bring him on the show. Let's have a Fabio Frizzi day.
We probably should. He probably can't understand English. I don't know. He might be able to, but
I got Google Translate. It's on.
Yeah.
It's on. I don't care. It's on.
Yeah, so the zombie shark scene and then the big splinter in the eye scene are amazingly awesome. And, you know Fulci kind of had a thing for eye trauma.
Yeah, he loved his eye trauma. We've seen that in some of his trailers we played through the 80s and stuff. You know, he loves his eye trauma. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those movies, Zombie is, while kind of gets looped in a lot, but it is in my opinion, one of the best, honestly the best, one of my favorite horror movies out of the 70s. Now we've done the 70s series. I love this and I love Dawn of the Dead, they go so well together.
Yeah. Let's see. Elvis of the Dead says Elvis of the Dead _art on IG. So he'll be posting all of his horror art tomorrow. Okay, cool. So just an update on that. Elvis of the Dead _ART on IG, Instagram. But yeah, Zombie, fantastic. Love this movie.
Yeah. Like you're saying, really enhanced by Frizzi. He had this haunting score in it that really helped make this movie, like we were saying. Great makeup. Screenplay is actually interesting. It's got a really unforgettable story in it. Works really well. I mean, it's kind of hard to. I have anything bad to say about this movie. I just like everything about it. I was trying to give some critiques on it, but there's nothing really I can say about Zombie. It's hard.
The only other thing I can say is that it is the first in his zombie trilogy. Because then you've got Gates of Hell, and which is also City of the Living Dead, aka, and then The Beyond.
Then The Beyond, yeah, the Gates of Hell trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Love these movies.
Great movies, though. I mean, yeah, Fulci really was one of a kind, phenomenal filmmaker. And, I mean, from there, I mean, really, we'll go ahead and we can roll the trailer for Zombie, guys. You've either seen it or haven't seen it. If you haven't seen Zombie, though, I definitely recommend getting a copy of it. Blue Underground does have a 4K out and a regular Blu-ray out, and really beautiful transfer. So, really worth picking up.
All right, here we go. All right. Got to get your barf bag. Because they giving them out at the theater, baby.
They're giving them out. Everybody get a barf bag for Zombie. Hey, if you guys are interested in barf bags, I can include one with a copy of Battlefield Earth on VHS. Limited time only. All right?
Perfect. What a deal.
I'm going to put those on eBay for like $800 and see if somebody buys one.
You'll sell them
on
all.
our new Frightmare HQ eBay account, which I made. Put
There
them all
you
in
go.
there, $800, signed by Charles. He's like, I don't want this. You're like, fine, free. I'll pay you $6 to take it. Take it. All right, guys. We're gonna roll up to the next one. A psychopathic killer terrorizes a babysitter, then returns 7 years later to menace her again. Released just before Halloween, October 26, 1979, it is the American psychological horror film When a Stranger Calls, written and directed by Fred Walton. Ooh.
Good old Fred Walton.
Good old Fred Walton. I included this one, but I have to be honest with you guys, I've never liked this movie at all.
Well,
but I did
it has the
this
most
because
amazing
it is,
opening of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been the biggest fan of this, but it does have a rifle following, and I know a lot of people enjoy this one, so I had to include it. I've watched this, I've watched it again, and I've tried to rewatch it a third time. I just can't get into this movie. I know some people do like it though, so no harm, no foul on that.
Yep. And then they had, I don't know, later they had When a Stranger Calls Back. Starring the same, what's her name that's in this movie?
Is that like when I call you at 3 a.m. and make weird noises?
It is.
Oh. I call Loyd sometimes and I go, oh, the boogans, Loyd. Boogans me.
He's usually asleep when he does this. He's asleep. He's sleep calling me.
Boogans.
Let's watch the trailer.
Boogans.
This audience is watching what the film critic for After Dark magazine has called the most terrifying movie I have ever seen.
Leave me alone!
Joe, we traced distant call is coming from inside the house. Just get out of that house.
Every babysitter's nightmare becomes real when a stranger calls. Rated R.
Now playing at Columbia Premier Theaters.
So, you did like the opening, right? Though, because that's the best part about that movie is the whole opening.
The opening,
sequence.
yeah, the opening is good. Then it drags.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Ali Tappa says, the call is coming from inside your pants. Remove your pants immediately. You're full of jokes tonight, Ali.
Jeez, Ali. All right, I took my pants off, Loyd.
All right,
Put
good
down.
job. So everybody
Good enough.
knows this. Everybody's already revealing the big secret of this movie.
Yeah.
So
It's coming from inside the house.
Yeah.
Liar. Carol
Which
Kane. Carol
had already
Kane,
been done basically in Black Christmas, but I guess all of that was kind of urban legend, based on urban legend and stuff. So,
but we got Carol Kane, and Carol Kane is fantastic. I'll give her that. She's the best in Scrooged. So, there you go.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, don't know. Can't really say much else about this one. I'd like Carol Kane. Fred Waltino directed this. Also did 86's April Fool's Day, which I definitely like a lot more. And if you're a fan of When a Stranger Calls, Mill Creek has a Blu-ray for like $9, but it is streaming on Showtime as well. If you got Showtime.
All right. So that about wraps up When a Stranger Calls. I can't think of anything else to say about it.
Yeah.
So next up, I'm so excited about this one.
I love this one. This is a great one.
Me too, and it's by one of my favorite directors, and you know who that is.
Oh, I know. Don't worry.
All right. A young embalmer digs up his recently deceased girlfriend and brings her body to his family villa with help from his strange housekeeper. Released in Italy, November 15th, 1979, this is the Italian horror film Beyond the Darkness, a.k.a. Buio Omega, directed by Joe D'Amato.
Yeah.
So the big thing about Beyond the Darkness is that there is an autopsy scene, and it looked so real that I think he had to go and prove that he didn't really cut open a body. In fact,
that's true. That is true.
In fact, it was rumored for a long time that what really was a real body in the movie. But it's a great movie. It's one of D'Amato's best. It's also one of his most serious films.
Yeah. Yeah, like you say, great effects. The effects were created from scraps, of animal scraps, real animal parts. So that's why a lot of it looks so real, because it was real animal pieces,
Wow. I believe it. It does look real. I mean, I've watched this movie a couple of times, and it does look real.
Yeah, and Goblin did the score for this. Goblin has a great score on this one.
This is
really
a fantastic Goblin score. It's one of their
really
best. Not a
one of their
very
best that
well-known
not a lot of
score,
people. Yeah, I was gonna say one of their best that not a lot of people know about. Nobody ever sort of mentions this one. It really is great.
Yeah. Go out and find this movie. I don't know who's got it out right now, but let's play the trailer and we'll come back and talk about that a little bit.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are easily frightened, we advise you not to watch this film. On the other hand, if you enjoy the violent emotions, this film is for you.
Body a whore, dead forevermore. Body 3 times, cursed pain and torture first. Body in a crypt, body hellfire dipped. Body ringing bell, body into hell. No one's life you save. Crumble In your grave.
Where did you hide her?
In a safer place than in your truck.
Sometimes I could kill you, Iris.
Just once. I want you to make love to me before I die.
You mustn't speak like that. Death has no power to separate us.
You swore you'd never come back into this room again.
I want to stay here alone with my mother.
Frank, your mother's dead.
So is Anna.
You've got to get rid of your stupid little toy. Do you understand me, Frank?
No!
You will, though. You'll see. You'll do it.
The young girl was reported missing 3 days ago. When last seen, she was in this area. Did you see anyone then? No. Who are you? Police. If you enjoy the violent emotions, this film is for you.
All right. Beyond the Darkness.
Great movie. Yeah, fantastic, like landmark Italian schlock film. You know, it's just so good.
It really is. It's got Cinzia Monreal in it, who is a Fulci. Did some Fulci movies. Yeah, so
yeah,
love this movie.
Severin has it out. It's kind of expensive. It's like $25, but this one is on Tubi, guys, for free. It's streaming with ads on Tubi. And if you have Shudder, this one's on Shudder right now too.
Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, you can check this one out before you spend any money on it. But I think you're gonna like it.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely recommend this one. You know, you guys know what kind of horror fans you are. And if you're the Italian, you know, Fulci, D'Amato fans, then yeah, you're gonna like these.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. You're next, sir.
This is an interesting one. Several college students take rooms in an old house where a grisly and still unsolved murder was committed years earlier. Released November 15th, 1979, in just 2 cities, guys. It was released in Tulare, California, and Honolulu, Hawaii. It is the American slasher film The Silent Scream, or sometimes called Silent Scream, directed by Denny Harris and starring Barbara Still and Yvonne DiCarlo. You seen this one?
Yes, I have. And you know what? It's not my favorite movie of all time, but it does have some redeeming moments. And it is kind of a slasher prototype, or a proto-slasher like we talked about the other night. Yeah.
I mean, definitely in homage to like Psycho, you know? It definitely was a throwback to that kind of era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you mentioned that it has Barbara Steele in it, and it's also got Cameron Mitchell, who we discussed the other night with Toolbox Murders.
Yep.
And so, you know, it's worth watching. It's got, like you said, again, Yvonne DiCarlo. So if you like those 3 actors, I think it's worth a watch.
It's such an interesting movie because, you know, Silent Scream was actually first filmed in 1977, and the first time it was filmed, it was so poorly done that they actually reshot the whole movie, most of the movie. And the first version of this movie from 1977 was never released. When they reshot a lot of it, that's when they brought on Yvonne DiCarlo and some other people. And they only used like 15% of the movie they originally shot. They redid it. And that's what we have is this. And I actually like this one. I think it's a little underrated. It's not as formalized as some of the other stuff was, but it's definitely not as bad as some of the other, slasher movies that was going to come after this. And I mean, I would definitely say just see it for Barbara Still. I think Barbara Still is really great in it.
Yep. I would echo your sentiments as well.
Not an easy one to see. It's not streaming anywhere at all. The only people who have it out is Scorpion Releasing, and it's like $20 for a Blu-ray. Kind of the only way to actually give it a watch, really.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can go to Ronin Flicks and pick that up there. Maybe you might be able to get it from Amazon too, right?
Yeah, I think it's actually on Amazon. There's a DVD that's a little cheaper, and then there's the Blu-ray from Scorpion. So
cool.
And yeah, kind of leave it at that, guys. We got one more on the list tonight, though, guys, and then we're done.
Let's play the Silent Scream trailer though before we move on.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Are you afraid of the dark? Of being alone? Or are you willing to explore the unknown, holding back your fear, allowing your natural curiosity to guide you, despite warnings? Disappearances. Premonitions. And the horrible feeling you have always been watched.
Someone there?
But what if this is a nightmare? And you are its prisoner. Silent scream. When the terror is so sudden, there's no time to scream.
Silent Scream.
Ooh, it's silent.
Pretty good trailer.
It's screaming. Yeah, that's an old school 35mm trailer. Fun to watch, and I do like that one. Like I said, Barbara Still is really great in it, but I'd recommend kind of seeking out if you're a fan of those, psycho type ish movies. Those kind of early slasher films. I think you'll like this one a little bit. I'm not going to say you're going to like it a lot because there is some flaws with it, but I do enjoy it.
Cool. All right. So like Charles said a minute ago, we've got one more left. Let's go ahead and jump on that one, and then we'll roll through our honorable mentions. This next one is a novelist and a young horror fan attempt to save a small New England town which has been invaded by vampires. First airing November 17th, 1979. It's the American TV miniseries Salem's Lot, directed by Tobe Hooper, based on the 1975 novel of the same name by Stephen King.
Oh, man. Salem's Lot. What a fun era for made-for-TV, right?
Exactly. This is a great movie. Super creepy scenes, especially the scene of the kid floating outside the window. That's iconic.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of Salem's Lot?
Yeah, I mean, I always liked this. This is one I watched when I was younger. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, I think there's definitely, you could feel Tobe Hooper in this. And, we know that this is kind of a big step into Hollywood for Tobe Hooper. Kind of led him to some other stuff. But I think this is super well done for a TV film. There's certain things you have to abide by for television. I think this does really well being super atmospheric and creepy at the same time abiding to that made for TV rules,
Which, is pretty much what Chainsaw did. I mean, Chainsaw did not have any graphic gore. So
no. Despite people telling themselves it did not.
Yeah, so I mean, it kind of kind of made sense for them to hire him, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
He was able to portray the terror on screen without, all the gore and blood and everything. So,
yeah, I mean, he's good, and it's, this is a longer one. It's a mini series, so I mean, it runs at 3.5 hours, something like that. So, it's just definitely a sitting at home with nothing to do watch, but it's definitely a good one. I think it's just a good one for families too. If you're trying to bring younger kids, something to watch with them, because it being a mini series, you can split it into 2 parts. You can watch part of it with the family, and then you guys can continue it. And there's not a lot of blood and stuff, it's a TV thing. So fun one for like families to watch together.
Yeah, but I will tell you, if you're letting a younger child to watch, that scene can be pretty haunting. The kid floating outside the window. I mean, it scared the crap out of me as a kid. I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, it's
very well.
It's got
for
some
a while
scary
after.
moments on it,
Yeah, it does. It does. So good stuff. So that kind of wraps up 1979. What do you guys think? What's your favorite? Is there something that we didn't mention? I'm sure there is. But
maybe
always, but always remember that. Our list is not all inclusive. This list is something that, that we personally like, that we find interesting and fun.
That is the truth. I mean, lots of fun stuff, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the 70s. We enjoyed putting these on. It's been 2 months now. We've been doing the 70s. It doesn't seem like it, but
we have gone through 2 decades of films, Charles.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
In about 4.5 months. Took us 5 months. We've done 2 decades of films. That's a lot of movies we talked about, guys. We've talked about I think I looked and we've talked about 300 movies, something like that so far. It's been crazy, and it boggles my mind how many damn movies we've seen, Lloyd.
I know. I've wasted my life away. Apparently.
I started thinking, I'm like, my God, I spent 99% of my life either sleeping or watching horror movies.
Yeah,
that's all I do.
So let's go ahead and watch the Salem's Lot trailer, and then
let's do it.
Yeah, and then we'll roll right into the honorable mention video that you put together, Charles. So here we go, guys. Sit down. You got a couple more minutes, and we're going to get you through 1979. Here we go.
Do you believe a thing can be inherently evil? Marston House, for instance.
How do you like that old house?
Needs work, but we have time.
Open the window. He commands it.
Quiet little town of Salem's Lot.
Oh, it's only all just happened
Since I came here.
Trying to rape me.
The vampires are creating vampires.
Hey, the thing is moving. Yeah, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Bill! Bill!
Where are you, Sammy darling?
Mr. Bardo is on a buying trip, but the moment he arrives, you'll enjoy Mr. Bardo. And he'll enjoy you.
You will help me, won't you, Doctor? I promise I'll make you very happy.
Ein extravaganter Giallo.
den man nicht so schnell vergessen wird.
It will leave you weak with terror.
Nobody's ever going to live in our house.
From American International, The Evictors. It's happening now, and will happen again and again.
Dominique wants something. The question is, what?
No! 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 No!
Dominique is dead. Or is she?
He's a demon!
On all occasions, take a taxi. It's quicker, easier. By taxi. Phone this number.
Screams of a winter night. How do you think these stories get started? Rated PG.
If it finds you, pray. But all it does is kill you. Something waits in the dark.
Little monster.
A house of pain. A house of death.
My God, what's happening?
The house by the lake.
You can run. You can hide. But you cannot escape thirst.
All right, guys, that was 1979, and thus we have wrapped the decade of 1970.
Oh my God, it's over, Lloyd. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it's been like 2 months.
Isn't that crazy, Charles?
I know. What do we do now? Is that it?
We go back to the
quit?
80s.
Do we quit?
That's it. We shut her down.
This is the whole show, guys. We're done. This is the last episode of Frightmare HQ.
This is our final episode.
Yep, final episode ever. We're actually retooling to do soft jazz. So.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah. Welcome to the smooth sounds of the rain with Loyd and Charles. Hey, Loyd, how you feeling today? You feeling smooth?
I'm groovy, Charles. Groovy.
Why don't we play a little bit of soft jazz for the crowd out there, huh? Get their tickles of toes in.
Soft jazz.
Soft jazz, not hard. No, I need soft.
Soft
I wanted to tickle my corn nibblers. All right. So
Yeah.
Get it going. All right.
Well, hey, we got a lot of comments. Everybody's really happy. I think, like we mentioned earlier, we are headed into the 90s, fellas. Guys
we
and
are
gals,
headed into the 90s.
Ghouls and ghoulettes.
Ghouls and tools. And remember, so yeah, Ali Tapa, you want a copy of Nightwing. So I'm going to get that out to you. And I pulled another random person. Eduardo Gonzalez also want a copy of Nightwing.
Boom.
Boom. I grabbed another person from
Awesome.
my magic list of people. So Eduardo Gonzalez, make sure we get your address. And I'm going to also send you a copy of Nightwing in the mail. So you can be a Nightwing fantastic life. All thanks to us.
All thanks to us.
Yes.
You know, I'm actually really excited to head into the 90s because while, you know, that wasn't probably my favorite decade, but I know it means a lot to a lot of our viewers. There's a lot of 90s flicks out there that people are going to be excited to talk about, I think.
Eduardo Gonzalez doesn't have a Facebook. Well, message us. I don't know how people but you can email us.
Yeah, email us.
I mean, really.
You can
email me. You can email me at charlesdoes@frightmarehq.com. They'll come right over to me.
Yeah. There you go. So there you go.
Here.
You
I'll put
won.
my email address in the comments, and you can email me, Eduardo. Hold on. Da 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 da. Boom.
You got it, Charles?
You know what? I live my life. Hold on.
Yeah. Hey, I want to thank. Hey, look at that,
Stephen Burt tipped $20.
Wait a minute.
Great show.
Stephen Burt just tipped us $20 and said, "Great show." Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that so much. We had a blast. I can't believe we've done 2 decades of films, Charles, and then we're about to hit a third. It's going to be awesome.
We are going to hit third. Hey, Eduardo Gonzalez asked if he also wants a copy of Battlefield Earth. Oh, hell yeah. You want a copy of Battlefield Earth? Man, I got it with your name written all over it.
And so does Allie.
Oh, Allie wants a copy too? All right, Allie, you're getting it. It's on.
She didn't say she did, but I think she wants one.
Yeah, I think she does too. I don't know, but what do you want me to say? I thank everybody for joining us. We're really appreciative. We love doing these, and I'm also looking forward to the 90s. I'm gonna tell you guys, I've already largely programmed 1990 through 1998. I can tell you right now because I like the 90s, so those are all pretty much done. I'm gonna give them over to Loyd so Loyd can edit in his favorite movies, but I think I may have all the ones accounted for.
Did D'Amato do any movies in the 90s?
I mean, I can make some movies up if you want.
We've got it.
Did he direct Titanic?
Yeah, well, I think he did some porn in the 90s, didn't he?
I mean, we could do those too if you want. That's a separate After Dark Frightmare HQ. All right.
I'm looking here for Joe D'Amato.
I still don't know if Edward Gonzalez is. Are you actually wanting a copy of it, Edward Gonzalez? Because you can have a copy. It's all you.
Just send it to him. If he doesn't want it, he can maybe take it to the shooting range or something.
That's true. That's true. All right. So yeah, really awesome. Yeah, guys, 90s is going to be fun. There's a lot of fun stuff in the 90s, but we have gone through the 70s. If you guys haven't seen yet, we also just released a video going through all Vinegar Syndrome September releases, and that's on our YouTube. So if you want to see me talk about all the weird stuff that Vinegar Syndrome brought out this month, because it was some weird stuff for really weird movies, I got a nice little overview of those on there. I did those a little different, so if you're not familiar with Vinegar Syndrome's releases, which some people aren't, the way I did the video is I not only unbox them, but I actually show you guys a trailer for the movie too. That way you get a little info about the movie. So kind of a fun watch. So nice little companion piece. And I'm going to keep doing those unboxing videos as long as people watch them. And then I'll probably still do them because that's just what I do. Just keep doing things.
Cool. So I did see somebody ask, what are we doing Saturday? Todd Lewis asked, what's on the agenda for Saturday? So I do have a guest booked. I haven't even told Charles about this because I just finalized it today. But we do have one of our favorite vendors coming up this Saturday, Joe with Fast Custom Shirts.
Oh, I like Joe.
Absolutely. I think that a lot of people, he's a fun guy, so I think a lot of people are going to enjoy us talking to Joe Garcia at Fast Custom Shirts. Joe, for those who don't know, makes all the t-shirts for Texas Frightmare Weekend. He's got a website. I believe it's fastcustomshirts.com, and you can go buy your shirts from him. Joe's a cool guy, and looking forward to talking to him.
Yeah. And then Saturday night, we've got our return of our Twitch Prime watch party. And we're watching Motel Hell with Skidoo.
Boom.
Skidoo's coming on. So
Skidoo. Boom.
Skidoo's coming on. Skidoo is joining us. And yeah, that's our plans until next Wednesday when we have 1990, guys. 1990, the year in horror. So everybody get your 1990s attire on because we're going to get crazy. And
we're going to get too legit to quit.
I think instead of showing or doing the year in horror, I'm just going to show episodes from Saved by the Bell the whole time. That's going to be the whole show. So
that's all right, because I'm saved by the bell.
No, Lloyd, you're not saved.
No, that wasn't
what
my,
else, guys?
That wasn't my generation, so I really don't know anything about that show.
David Dugas asked where I got this shirt from. Well, surprisingly enough, this shirt was from Old Navy, which surprised me because I don't usually buy clothes from Old Navy, but Old Navy. And if Old Navy, if you're watching, we're happy to have you as a sponsor on this show. Just return to me the $14.99 I paid for the shirt.
And you will be a sponsor.
You will be a sponsor. So, other than that, guys, yeah, nothing else really to talk about. Like I said, we got our unboxing videos. We did set up a Frightmare HQ eBay, which is where all auctions of crap are going to go now. I can tell you guys that some of my unboxing videos will probably land on there, some of those movies, because I buy them to overview them for you guys, but some of those movies I don't want to keep. It's just, you know, I'm not the biggest collector of discs like some people, so some people want those more than I do. So
yeah, it's a good way to pass them along, though.
Yeah.
Right?
I like talking about movies. That's kind of my thing.
All right, guys. Well, maybe we should throw
We're gonna scare the hell out of you.
I threw a scare video out there.
Woo!
Me and Charles celebrating.
Yeah, get it. Celebrating the end of the 70s, guys. I can't believe we did it.
Woo. Okay.
Oh my lord. That video is kind of embarrassing.
I mean, most of my life is embarrassing. I mean, do you know anybody else who has 14 copies of Battlefield Earth on VHS?
No. But that's okay. We love you, Charles. It's all right.
I wonder if I could slowly buy every copy in existence of Battlefield Earth. Like, I'll have like hundreds of them, and I'll build a fort out of them. What do you think?
A fort?
That's where I'll do the show from, my fort, my Battlefield Earth fort.
Oh my lord. Well, I think we should wrap it up, Charles. I want to thank everybody. Thank y'all for coming on and watching us tonight, hanging out with us. We enjoy it as always. For all the new people that are here, thank you for joining us for the first time. We hope you come back next time, which is this Saturday, and we'll all have fun again.
Thank you, guys. You know, we appreciate you guys' support. We wouldn't be able to do this without you guys continuing to tune in. So we thank you for not only watching us live, but checking out our YouTube videos and all of our strange stuff we do. So thank you, guys.
Thank you. You've been watching Frightmare HQ. My name is Lloyd Cryer, and I'm here today with...
It is Carlos Blueberry.
Carlos Blueberry. Peace, everybody. We'll see you again soon.
Bye. Bye, peeps.